I spent 4 decades serving the Crown, and I had an absolute, genuine belief in what I served. I believed that what we were doing was right. I believed that we were on the moral high ground. And it's only been in the last few years that I have now looked at what's going on. I struggle to get alongside what you're doing and why you're doing this, because there are better ways to do this. There are better ways to behave. And you no longer hold the high ground. Look at what happened last year with Russia using cluster bombs in the Ukraine. It was denounced as a war crime for anyone to use cluster bombs in the Ukraine. Now America are supplying cluster bombs to the Ukraine to use against the Russians, and that's all fair. You can't have it both ways. It is either a war crime and it is wrong, or it is not a war crime, but you can't have it as a war crime for Russia, but it's okay for America to allow that to happen. That's just farcical. And I don't understand why people are asleep to half of this.
Well, we talked about this before, because they are distracted elsewhere.
I think there's so much distraction going on. Distraction around gender identity, distraction around unidentified flying objects, or UAPs, whatever they call them these days, distraction around climate and the heat waves that are going through everywhere and the world is burning. And you think to yourself, actually, I'm not 100% sure that that is accurate as absolutely everywhere. I've got no doubt that the temperatures are going up. I've got no doubt that there's climate change. I've got no doubt all of that. But I'm not so sure that the way things are being presented is actually accurate. I'm mindful now when I hear somebody start to date set of by 2025, the sea levels are going to be a metre higher and we're not going to be able to do this. I'm like, okay, in 2025, I've noted that and I'm going to check to see how right you are. Because we've had this for so many decades now. By the time we get to this year, this is going to happen. By the time we get to that year, this is going to happen. By the time we get to that year, this is going to happen. And you know what? It doesn't happen.
Because, and we talked again previously about this, because the ones who are reporting this are part of the agitation creation industry. It's just another form of getting people agitated to consume more of what they're offering.
You're right. This is being exacerbated as well within our schooling, because schools are no longer a place of education. They are a place of indoctrination. Kids are not being educated. They're not being encouraged to think and to ask critical questions, to be a critical thinker around things. And this is one of the reasons why I'm so intrigued with Ukraine and Russia. Why? Why is this happening? And you haven't got to look far, like I said, and you track things back and you see the dishonor that sits on one side, and you think to yourself, yeah, well, if I was on that other side, I'd probably push back as well. I honestly don't think that the West has acted in a very honourable way. And that does not negate the terrible way that Putin has acted. I am no cheerleader for the way that Vladimir Putin has behaved, but I understand, I think, why he's behaved in that way.